Thanks for taking the time out today to have a look at the new ExoBusiness CRM. The agenda for today, we're going to have a look at the Exo CRM. Where does it fit into the suite of products? Have a look at some of the key features. There'll be a full product walkthrough and demonstration. Now, as far as where CRM fits into the suite of product, it's part of the fully integrated ExoBusiness suite. So you can see all the modules listed there. And the CRM is the part that will help you manage your prospects, activities, tasks, and generally a sales tool. It's fully integrated into the central ExoBusiness database and is useful for sales teams, customer service teams, and has quite a lot of functionality which we'll get into the detail of. Some of the key features and benefits is it gives you access to real-time information. So as opposed to a separate add-on product, it's fully integrated into the system. So it gives you information on live stock levels, pricing arrangements. It's fully compliant with all of the ExoBusiness pricing rules. It gives you a much better management of your contacts. So within ExoBusiness, obviously there is a contact card system, but the CRM really extends that functionality and allows you to deal with not just your existing customers, but also potential customers or prospects, and classify them and communicate with them. There's a My Day tool, which is very useful for sales reps and sales staff. It allows you to customize that view and view all your day-to-day information in one place. And there's some quick add functionality that allows you to quickly put in your common things that you need to on a day-to-day basis, which we'll have a look at in a second. There's also, aside from the actual sales and opportunity management, there's also a customizable view that allows you to set sales budgets and report on those sales budgets and actual sales versus last year. So we'll have a look at this tool, and this really distinguishes it from other CRM packages on the market. Because of its live integration with Exo, we're able to do this because we've got access to all the historical sales information as opposed to other external systems where they don't. So it allows you to set budgets on a customer by customer basis or by group, even down to a customer by product level, and monitor who's buying what, did they buy it last year, have their sales increased or decreased. So we'll have a good look at that tool. Okay, so starting with the My Day screen, the first thing you'll notice is the general layout. If anyone's used to the dashboards in the ExoBusiness software, it uses the same sort of technology but embeds it into your actual screen. So I can actually add additional widgets. So let's say I wanted to put in a company search on my day screen and dock that within my screen anywhere. So I might pop it down the bottom here. This customizability means that I can take any of my information, any of these widgets, and place them anywhere I like within the application. I don't have to go off to other screens to find things. Some of the other things you'll find here, I'll just close that off, is the calendar functionality. Anyone who's using ExoBusiness now will be familiar with this calendar view. Some of the things you'll find with the CRM is the integration to Outlook has been greatly expanded. So we can now synchronize your calendar, all of your tasks with Outlook, and there are rules around how that happens. We can set up rules around what types of activities synchronize back and forth, so your personal appointments don't sync back into here. And we can also, there's a feature I'll show you later where you can very easily drag and drop emails out of Outlook straight into Exo to create activity notes and embed the email into the company card. This Activities tab gives us access to companies and contacts and allows us to create activities. So again, anyone who's used this activity functionality in ExoBusiness before will be familiar with it, but it's just been extended again. So we can now, rather than just having a general activity, we can have an appointment or a task. And the difference is they'll go off to different places in your Outlook. An appointment obviously goes into your calendar for a specific day and time, whereas a task shows up in your to-do list in Outlook, and you can still set it for a particular day and it will pop up as a reminder, but it's not in your calendar. We can also set up a list of types. So, your tasks can be a phone call or, whatever different type could be to send an email, and it's a fully customizable list. So another thing you'll find in the new version is, depending on your level of access, rather than having to go off to a separate configuration area to manage these lists, you can do it straight from here just by clicking on new or editing the existing ones. So again, very customizable. You can set up exactly how you want it to operate. You can tick and choose there to sync it with Outlook, and that'll just happen automatically. And of course, just like in the previous version, we can link that to a particular customer card, so it keeps an audit trail of that against that customer. There's probably going to be two main types of customers who will be using this package. You'll have our clients who will have a sales pipeline and active sales force who will be trying to sell into either existing clients or picking up new business, but it will be an active sales type scenario where you'll be going out, visiting customers and trying to take orders. And then there'll be other customers who primarily sell into their existing customer base, and they just have recurring transactions into their existing customer base. We have tools here for both of those types of customers. The opportunities area will be for the first type, where you'll be going out and trying to find new customers, putting in potential opportunities, potential customers, and then managing that pipeline. And then in a minute, we'll have a look at the sales budgets, which is for the other type, where you're selling into your existing customer base, and all you're really trying to do here is monitor whether your existing customers are buying or not, what they're buying, and how that's going compared to their budget. So we can handle both. Starting with the opportunities, just quickly your company's view. This is the same as what you've got in ExoBusiness now, except that through here it's looking at both customers, suppliers, and non-accounts. And non-accounts are your prospects or people who aren't customers yet. If we have a look at one of those, you'll see that you can still track all their details. We can put notes against them. They can have opportunities, and we can convert them into a debtor or a creditor down the track if we're successful. This functionality has been extended from previous versions as well. We can now add extra fields and track a whole lot more information around them. If we have a look at a customer, it's the same customer card file system that you'd already be familiar with if you're an ExoBusiness user, and we have all the functionality but in a read-only manner. So the benefit of this is, as a sales rep, if you're dealing with existing customers, we can go back and see everything that we're allowed to about them. So, from their basic details, their sales turnover, even previous invoices, payments, reprinting of invoices, sending out statements. So if you're working with your customers, you've got access to all that functionality that you're used to within ExoBusiness. What we'll do now is have a look at the opportunity, because this is a new element that was introduced with the CRM. So if we're, we have a potential to sell something into a customer, we would go in and create an opportunity. An opportunity, we can have a look at all the fields here. We can give it a name. We can link it to a company, so it can either be an existing company or we can quickly add a new one. You'll notice here these quick add grids. So one of the keys to making CRM successful is to ensure that it's really quick and easy to use. We find over and over again that people will implement a CRM system and it just doesn't work because the sales staff don't put the details in. And the reason for that is they're often really cumbersome. There's too much information. It takes you too long to put the information in, so inevitably they end up not doing it and going back to writing it down on a piece of paper. So one of the things that has been introduced here with the CRM is the concept of these quick add screens. It's just the really basic, essential information that you need to create this without going into all the detail. You can then go back and add in the detail later. So I can just put in a phone number, an email address, specify what type they are, and that's it. And it's created them for me. I don't have to go into any more detail. I can do the same with the contact, etc. I'll also show you in a second, with this opportunity, there is a quick add for that as well. So you can just put in a few basic pieces of information. So that's really useful if you're on the phone, someone calls in, you just want to capture that they've made an inquiry without having to go into all this detail. You can use the quick add to put it in there within a few seconds. Now, some of the other things you've got against an opportunity is a type. So, you know, what type of opportunity is it? Is it a new sales opportunity or a potential supplier or, you know, anything, again, fully editable by the user. A lead source, you know, how did they hear about us? And a stage. So usually a sale will progress. So you will start from an initial inquiry and you will, you know, maybe qualify it and move it along in your sales process, and that differs from business to business. So again, this process is fully customizable, and you can add as many or as little steps as you need to in here, and the opportunity can go back and forth. All of these steps are also associated with a percentage likelihood. So usually the further you go along your sales stages, the more likely you are to get the sale. So we actually use that information in our pipeline reporting to give us an estimated sale value, so we can get some a bit of a prediction of what sales we're likely to make. We can set our own probability as well. So even though they're unqualified, I've just got a really good feeling about them and I'm going to make them 70%. We keep both pieces of information. So even though the sales rep might put them at 70%, as a manager, you can look at both percentages and make your own decisions. We can put in some notes about them. And give them an estimated value. I'm just going to quickly save that. Now, we can also add extra fields into here. So if you have more information that you need to capture in your sales process, we can add some additional fields down the bottom here. So some common ones might be a region, if you want to specify what region they belong to, or further classification of the type of customer, etc. We can add fields for that. Now, moving on to the next tab, we have quote facilities. Now, the quoting is, again, fully integrated into Exo. So it will abide by all pricing rules. So if it's an existing customer, you can be assured that it will pick up their correct pricing when you quote. If it's not an existing customer, we have what's called a template account facility. So you can set up a non-customer who obviously doesn't have any pricing rules with you, but you can tell the system that they should get the same pricing as this other customer. And you can pick any other customer in the system or ones that are specifically set up as templates and link them. They're not associated in any way, but the system will give them the same price as per this other customer. From here, we can put in a quote. Now, it's fully integrated into the stock system, so we can use any of the stock codes. Some of the things you'll notice here, anyone who's familiar with job costing will probably recognize this screen, but if you're used to the normal quote screen in ExoBusiness, you'll find a few differences here. First of all, we have cost information available on the grid. Again, this is an Exo grid, so I can move and sort it the way I want. And it gives me a markup, and if I go over and drag that back, a margin line by line and overall down here. So as I build up the quote, it will tell me the expected margin on this opportunity as I go. So this is very different to the quote screen in Exo. We can also alter things. So because this is just an estimating tool, if I think I can get a better deal on these because it's a bulk purchase, I can type over the cost and it's going to give me an updated margin. We can then give them a discount based on that bulk buy, etc. It also has all the same functionality you're used to with narratives, etc. And this can be printed out very easily into a quote format. Another really handy thing with CRM is we can set up multiple templates. So rather than just having one quote layout, we can set up any number of documents to print out of here, which we can merge information into the document. So obviously a quote might be one of them, but you might want to have 2 or 3 different quote layouts. You may need a detailed quote which lists all items, or a summary quote which just has your comments and a total at the bottom. So you can choose per each opportunity which one you want to print. You can also use it to just mail merge letters and forms. So, within our own system, we're now using this. So when we sign up a new customer, we have a terms and conditions that needs to be signed off. Rather than doing that in Word every time, we just print it straight from here, and it pulls in all the details from the company and our details and goes straight out to the customer. So there's a lot of potential uses for that. Some other elements on the quote history notes. So obviously an opportunity will go in, and you might have hundreds of conversations with the customer about this opportunity. The idea is to come in here and put in a note whenever you've had a conversation with them. So put a little note in there and save it, and I can keep going. It's also integrated into the activities, so I might want to put in a reminder to give them a call next month. So I can click a button. It's already linked to the opportunity, to the company. Put a little note in there, choose a day and a time and save it, and it will pop up and remind me to give them a call. So that's really handy. Now, once this progresses to the stage where you want to actually push it through and turn it into a real quote or a real job, again, there's no rekeying. We do it straight from here, and we've got both options. So whether you're using just the ExoBusiness Core or job costing, we can turn this into either. So I can put that into a sales order, and then the warehouse or the admin team can pick it up from there and process it. So if I do that now, they'll turn them into a real customer, put it into an order. I can review it. I'm happy with that. Put some freight on there. Away it goes. Now, I've sent that through, but as a salesperson, the customer might call me back and say, hey, how's my order going? I gave you the go-ahead. What's happening? I can still come back to the opportunity, go to my transactions, and I can see the order there and what status it's in. And then I can actually still drill back and bring it back up, and there might be further notes. There might be a consignment number, so I can say, yep, they've processed it, it's shipped, it's gone with AAE, and there's your consignment number, etc. So I can still manage that process if I need to. All right. Now, also on the Transactions tab, it will show me related transactions. So if that quote has been invoiced, it will actually show me the invoice from here. So I can see it, I know it's been done, I can reprint it, etc. Another useful thing here is the document management. So depending on your sales process, sometimes there are a whole lot of other documents that may need to happen alongside the sale. They might be drawings, diagrams, Excel spreadsheets, etc. Rather than keeping them in a folder on the server somewhere, we can actually attach them against the opportunity. So again, it's all available in one place. I can double click and fire it up. Okay, so that's the basics of an opportunity. I'll also demonstrate the quick add functionality. So what I've done is I've actually docked it here into my main screen. So rather than going through that process of creating an opportunity through the other screen, you can see here I've just got 5 key fields I need to fill in. So type that in. Again, customer, I might just quickly search there and pick an existing one. It's automatically drawn down the default contact, or I can change it, and I can give it an estimated value. And done. So you can see that only took a couple of seconds. So if I was talking to someone over the phone, new customer calling in, it was really quick and easy. Okay. Now, Some other functionality that's been introduced in the new version is an extension to the existing dashboard tool. So it's come a long way. And what we now hear is what's called a data mining chart. Basically, we can set this up to display any sort of information you like, and I'll show you a couple of examples of this in a moment. A standard one that comes with the system is your typical opportunity pipeline or opportunities by stage. So what this is showing me is currently how many opportunities and to what value do we have in the different stages of our sales process. You can see they're a little bit different because I'm displaying two side by side. One's the dollar value and one's the actual number of opportunities. And we have drill down functionality. So if I see that we've got this in verbal acceptance, I can drill down further and get some more information. Now, depending on how I set this up, this could drill down and show me the actual opportunities or customers, or down to the item level. It's really quite flexible. We can put whatever query we like into the background here, and it will come and display on the front screen. It also displays it in a grid layout up here for quick reference. Now, when we get to the dashboard, I'll show another example of this where you can do some very basic sales reporting and rearrange it to suit your requirements. Just moving along on CRM for now. The stock area gives us access to stock. So just like we had through the quote screen, I can simply look up an item, bring it up, and it's the same stock item screen that we're used to in a read-only version, and it will abide by the same rules. So if you have cost prices hidden, you won't see this area, etc. Now I can look up availability, check all the multiple prices, go back and look at historical transactions, etc. So I've got access to look up stock, to get availability for the customers without going into an opportunity at all. It's pretty straightforward. All right, the next one we'll have a look at is the sales budgets. Now, this is for the other types of customers where you're not actively going out and sourcing new customers or new opportunities, but you are actively monitoring recurring sales into your existing customer base. So the idea with the sales budgets is we can set them based on various criteria. So when we're setting up a budget, we can choose what detail level we want to go to. We can simply do it by staff, by customer, or we can go down a bit further. So we can do it by customer group, or on the sales side, we can go down to a stock group or even a stock item. Now, obviously, the more detailed you get, the more administration it is to set up the budget in the first place. If you're going down to a stock item level, you'd actually have to set a budget per customer or per group for every single item that you stock. But if you do it at a group level, it's quite manageable. There is also a really good tool built into here that allows you to copy last year's actual figures, take them out to Excel, use whatever formulas you like, or just copy and paste to set your budgets for this year, and then paste that straight back in to produce the budget. Now, once you've got all that in there, the system will monitor, obviously, your actual sales month by month. Now, it's all displayed on a grid like this, and it looks a little bit confusing at first, but if I drag some of this information out, you'll see that you can actually choose how you view it. So what I've got at the moment is month by month, my actual last year actual budget and a variance figure by customer group. Now, let's say I wanted to go a bit further. I didn't want to see it by customer group. I wanted to look at every individual customer. I can just take that out of the picture, and you can see it immediately expands out and shows me every single customer with the same information across here. If I wanted to drill down further, I can open that up, and it shows me every group that customer has bought with the last year actuals, budget and variance. I can then change that around. Let's say rather than looking at it by customer then by group, I can just simply drag and drop and change it all around. Now, rather than looking at customers, I'm looking at stock groups first, and wow, we've had a lot of sales in this group. I'll open that up and I can have a look at what customers are buying it. So you can see by simply dragging and dropping your fields around, you can rearrange the screen to give you whatever information you like. And so you can really drill down and see how you're going against your budget. All of this is filterable too. So let's say I was just interested in a particular staff member. I can drill down and say, I want to see how David's going. And you can see there all my figures change. It's just David's sales, etc. So quite a powerful tool. It can be set up in many, many different ways, and you can also have multiple budgets. So I've just named this current budget, but this could be my detailed budget, which is set up by item. I can have another version, which is a summary budget and is just, maybe total by customer group, by staff. So you can have different ways of looking at the information, and we'll just keep it all up to date. All right, so there'll probably be quite a few questions on this one, but just to give you the concept, I'll probably leave that one there. Show you another example of the this type of grid. What I've done here is set up a quick sales analysis data mining chart under my dashboard. Now, what I've got here is various fields from the sales database, which again I can drag and drop and look at in different ways. So what I've got here is the dollar value and the gross profit for each sale, and that is my two bars there. And I'm looking at it by stock group, by staff at the moment, but I can maybe get rid of stock group and bring in branch, and all of a sudden I have a very different chart. I'm looking at my branches. I can then drill down into Sydney and get the information by staff. So again, same as the previous one, I can drag and drop information to my requirements to get the particular drill down I'm after. Again, this is a full detail, so I can go down to a stock item level, so and lay that out. So you can start at a very high level and then drill down, say, into a particular branch, to a particular staff, and then to a particular stock item to see what they're selling. Quite a powerful tool, and again, we can create any number of these with different fields that allow you to do this sort of ad hoc reporting. So rather than having to, call up ISPRO and get another report built for something that you just need once or twice, you can just use this sort of tool to get the information quickly. Also, by setting it up as a dashboard, it's a constant refresh. So we can set these up to refresh every 5 minutes if you want to, and you can have this open and monitor it. But because, again, it's still customizable, you can drag and drop it and rearrange it. So if you notice a trend even during the day, you can drill down and change your view around to see exactly what's going on.